whatever we have done for the appointment letter extraction, let's do it for the payroll form. As we can see, there are no arguments available here, and compared with this, let's go back to this particular workflow, and you can see here it is still hard coded, and the values that we are trying to fetch are also not arguments but variables. To send these particular values out, we have to make them the arguments. Now let me create an argument for the in document in payroll file path, which is a string and in type. Replace this with in payroll. Then we have first name out payroll, which is of out type. Similarly, we have to do it for all the variables available here. We have to make the variables available as arguments. So to save our time, I have tried to create all the arguments, and we can replace these variables with the arguments that we have just created. Replace this with out first name and this with out last name, and similarly do it for all the other variables avoided here. Now as you can see, I have replaced all the variables with the arguments right here. Be careful when you do that, because you might end up doing the wrong way, okay, assigning some other value to some other variable. So now because we have the arguments and we have assigned them right here, try to delete all these available things. Okay, we are done with that. So if I just go back to this and click on import arguments, you can see all this are available, are exposed to this particular process, but we have to assign these values to some variables in this process. To do that, let's first pass the path of payroll file. Go back to this and right here payroll file path, and then create some variables with these names here. That is first name, last name, first name, last name, PAN number, gender, account number, IFSC code. Now I have created the variables for all the arguments that we have right here. Let's pass these things to this. First name to the first name, last name to the last name, date of birth to date of birth, PAN number to PAN number, gender to the gender, bank name to the bank name, and finally account number to account and IFSC to IFSC. With this, what we have done is we have tried to get the details extracted from payroll form to the process file, so that we can take this extracted files further and be able to get the employee ID and mail ID generated, and then enter all these details into the master sheet available.